Welcome to HyVee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine HyVee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's HyVee Today. This is Tony Tone. Already this morning, I had a coworker say, "Oh, you're wearing the floral department shirt." And I was like, "It's the musky purple. I've had this shirt for a while. Sometimes I wear it. But in other HyVees, some of their floral department folks have this nice purple shirt. Here's the thing. It's breathable, one. And B, it's musky color. So listen, it's but I already had it happen. My coworker Karen was like, "I don't even have a purple shirt," as she was literally working in the floral department. And I was like, "Karen, take it easy." So I got to get Karen a shirt. So welcome to the show. I'm glad to be with you. Good looking day outside with the Lutheran Living Senior Campus weather forecast. This is my weather voice, everybody. And here's my green screen when I point to things. I don't know how these meteorologists do it. The screen is literally green, and they're like, right over here. So I don't have that, which is nice because I would mess it up. Today, partly sunny, a high of 85. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 62. And then for Thursday, cloudy and humid, a high of 86. And there you have it. I love AccuWeather, so we use AccuWeather.com. I have the app on my phone. It was pretty accurate with respects to the severe storm that rolled in on Monday. We had recorded winds of 75 miles an hour in Muscatine. So hopefully you're okay or you're still cleaning up. Today at the store is Wellness Wednesday. So every Wednesday you have an opportunity to come in and save in the health market. So everything in the health market, vitamins, whether it's gluten-free stuff, whatever the case may be, it's always 10% off on Wellness Wednesday. The graphic is on the screen right there, and it's a great opportunity for you to save some money. This also includes health and beauty care items. So maybe you need, what do I need at the house? Body wash? Nobody's ever excited about buying body wash. It's like I always say about toilet paper. You never want to run out. So I should have like backup things of body wash. Like I'm at that age where I should have like 17 things of body wash in a closet in the hallway so I don't have to worry. But I also work at a place that sells it. So that's included, and organic produce. Come in and check that out. I want to show you, and I emailed this, but I also have it here. On the back page of the newspaper is our local ad, and it's got some good deals. And one of the things that I love is right here, smack dab in the middle, is 20 cents off per gallon. So even if you don't have the Fuel Saver card, and I get it, I guess, if you don't. But this is something you need to take advantage of. So 20 cents off a gallon. Nobody else is doing this with respects to other gas stations in town. You cut this out of the paper. Last time we had this coupon, I told you I used a knife. I will use scissors this time. Or I'll have somebody do it for me that's better with scissors, like my 5-year-old. That's a joke, by the way. He won't do it because he's terrible with scissors because he's 5. He's okay with scissors. Enough about me. 20 cents off a gallon. So grab the paper. We have copies in the store. It came to your mailbox if you're in Muscatine County Tuesday or today on Wednesday. And it's literally taking money off at the pump. And then there's a little shout out to try the all-new Nathan's hot dogs inside the gas station. Hot dog and a 22-ounce fountain drink for $1.99. That is a good hot dog. And our very own Chris Anderson said he is going to break the record for the amount of Nathan's hot dogs consumed by Joey Chestnut. He's going to have 87 hot dogs on tomorrow's show. Tune in, won't you? See if I'm telling the truth or not. I just want to thank my neighbors. So I was talking to two of my neighbors, and Jim Haskin recently retired from here at Hy-Vee. They live right next door. I was talking to him about a tree that I have outside my house that unfortunately was affected by the emerald ash borer. So Lorna's like, we have a chainsaw, and then my neighbors cut my tree down. So this, I feel like, I don't know, what do you get your neighbors that cut a tree down? I mean, is there a Hallmark card that says, hey, thanks for cutting my tree down? But I think I emailed some pictures of the old tree getting cut down, and it's gone. Like it's on my curb. It's going to get picked up today by my buddy Shane, who owns Lincoln Lawn Care, and totally got the tree cut up, and it's out of there. So emerald ash borer is something that you don't want to have to deal with, right? They can infest trees. Did the pics not show up? That's weird. Maybe I forgot to attach them. Luckily, I have them right here. But yeah, it wasn't a big tree, but what I noticed right away was the lack of shade. So then I'm thinking, do I got to get another tree? I'm like, where do you get a tree? I don't know. I just take one from here. We had a tree in the parking lot blow over. Maybe I could pick that one up and plant it in front of my house. So that's what's on my curb for now. It'll be picked up by my friend Shane with Lincoln Lawn Care, who's a good dude. And then, yeah, so I hope you have good neighbors like mine that literally were like, yeah, well, you know what? We'll cut the tree down for you. So, and I think there's a picture of Jim with a chainsaw that it was just airdropped. Like, these guys are awesome. Look at that. Like, when they said they would do it, I was like, my response, I literally said, why? I'm like, well, we have the chainsaw, and Jim's retired. And not to assume that retired people just want to do things like cut trees down, but then I was told that my neighbor 2 doors down, Ed Bermel, who literally retired on Friday, he was like, oh, I got a bigger chainsaw. It turned into like a chainsaw jamboree. So then we're all, anyways, I'm very thankful for them, and that tree is gone. Of course, the crazy part is they're getting ready to cut it down. They said, we've always had this big cardinal that hangs out, and a cardinal can sometimes be a sign of a loved one that's passed away. They said the cardinal was just on top of the branch, just yelling, basically, like, what are you doing? My tree. So sorry to the cardinal. We'll get you something better. Last thing I want to say, it happened yesterday. It was confirmed, unfortunately. The Big Ten has elected to cancel fall sports, including Iowa Hawkeye football. Now, I never thought that this would ever happen, not certainly in my lifetime. But Big Ten made the announcement yesterday. It was kind of rumored on Monday. That was told to be not necessarily true. And then all of a sudden, it was confirmed yesterday. Hawkeye football coach Kirk Ferentz put out a release about it. And, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's one of those things where it's not happening. So there you go. Big Ten says no football this season. All right. Let's do it. Let's get to our first guest who's patiently waiting. And oddly enough, Christy Roby Williams on Facebook says, good Wednesday morning. Make it a wonderful day. I will, Christy. Thank you. Susan Kruger is here, who is a registered nurse with Trinity Muscatine Public Health. And we're going to talk about National Immunization Month, which is going on now.
It is.
Susan, did you bring a shot for me?
I did not. Sorry.
What in tarnation? I was ready. I've got a nice soft spot for a shot to land. I'm kidding, of course. Although, you know, I have gotten flu shots on this show, and when I was at the radio station, I am, you know, a supporter of immunizations. I have 3 kids, so I think it's important. So we're sitting here, Susan. It's August 12th. So we're 12 days away from school in Muscatine restarting on Monday the 24th. For folks like myself that have kids that are school age, there are things they need to do, including some immunizations. Right? So, so I guess I can ask selfishly. So I have a 5-year-old going to kindergarten, and then I have a 3rd grader that's 8. And I don't feel like they had to get any shots. So are they at a place where they're okay for a couple of years?
The 8-year-old, yes.
Yeah.
Typically, anytime after age 4, kids can get their kindergarten shot. So your son might have gotten his shots at that 4-year-old age. They just need them before they go to kindergarten. But children have to be given after the age of 4. Okay. And then they get a little bit of a break other than that yearly flu vaccine until they're 11. And then usually at 11, 12, they need those next set of boosters because some of that protection against whooping cough and tetanus starts to wear off. So they want to get a booster of that.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of, I mean, no kid, and Susan, you probably know this better than anybody, no kid is like, hey, doc, I'm here for my shots.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Usually you have to kind of lie to them and say, we're just going to go see Cindy Burr, and it's great, and nothing's going to happen, and then you're going to be mad, and we'll get you a toy or something. I don't know. What's the best way to barter with these kids? But it's important that they have it. Certainly this year is different. School's going to look different with respects to social distancing and face masks, and it just seems like, for me, getting the immunizations out of the way, given everything else that's going on now more than ever. Have you seen an increase, and I don't know if that's the right question to ask, but have you seen an increase in kids wanting, or parents saying, maybe we should really make sure that they're ready? Because you're almost not really supposed to be able to send them to school without it.
Right.
So has that shifted at all?
We're starting to see more. We had, when the pandemic first started, we kind of cut back on our immunization services
Sure.
and other general services for a while. But now we've got things back open at public health. And so now we're starting to see more of the kids and adolescents trickling in to get those immunizations that they need for school.
Good.
There's requirements that they need for kindergarten, then again for 7th grade, and then again for 12th grade entry. There's some requirements that are needed. So.
And I definitely remember that 12th grade appointment, because that was like the second time I told my mom, you don't have to come into the room, and she was mad. I don't know if she was mad or sad. It was a little bit of both, I think. Great information on the website with child vaccine info. It's something that with respects to having kids, again, nobody likes having their kids get shots. Some people will, want to space things out just so it's not as much of an impact at once, but at the end of the day, it's going to protect them. But not only is it protecting them, it's making sure that everyone around them
Right.
is safe, right? And I think what's so great, because now when you have a kid, there's like the chickenpox shot. And back in 1986, we had a chickenpox party. And then you had the calamine lotion, and you had chickenpox. And I think about my kids not even having to worry about that. Right? And that's one of the things that we have, and that's where the technology has definitely leaps and bounds.
Right.
So it might seem like there's a lot, but it's really gotten better, right?
And there are still a handful of kids that can die from chickenpox. So
Oh my
people don't think
gosh.
of chickenpox being a disease that you could have serious health consequences, but you can get bacterial infections and severe infections from the chickenpox virus. So even those childhood diseases we thought were not very impactful can still be very harmful. So still important to get those.
What were we doing in 86? What was happening? Or 87? Like, what was the deal? We
Yeah.
just didn't know?
No.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
No, and the chickenpox, I remember the lotion and I hated it. And like the cotton balls, and it was awful.
Yep.
What about, certainly as we get older, right? So we were just talking, Susan and I were talking before the show, and I said I'm very optimistic by nature, but I do feel like we will have a vaccine for this COVID-19 coronavirus sooner than later, and that'll be great because there's a lot of smart people working around the clock on that. So again, selfishly, I'm 36. I'm going to be 37. Am I due for any vaccines, or am I good for a while?
Well, depending on when your last tetanus shot was.
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
We want to do a tetanus booster every 10 years.
Okay.
So did you have one back in the day when there wasn't an adult vaccine that contained the whooping cough component,
Okay.
but now there's a Tdap that's recommended for adults. So maybe when your kids were born, it was recommended that you got a Tdap that would protect you against the pertussis, which would then protect the baby. So generally a tetanus booster every year. And then depending on health conditions, you may need pneumonia shots, or once you hit 50, the shingle shot is really important for people to have as well as adults. So even though, you don't think of adults as immunizations, we still need them. And of course, those yearly flu vaccines are very important.
Yeah, and we are certainly getting closer to, I don't want to say we're getting closer to flu season, but the time when flu vaccines are available. I've gotten the flu vaccine the last, I don't know, probably 5, 6, 7 years. And I think the misconception that irks me, and I'm not a healthcare professional, but I imagine it's stressful because sometimes people just assume, oh, I have the flu. I was in the bathroom for 12 hours. I have the flu. No, that's not the flu. That's more like a stomach bug.
Right.
The flu would be what? Typically fevers, chills.
Fevers, chills, body aches,
Okay.
a lot of similar symptoms of the coronavirus.
Right.
And so it's really important for people to get those flu vaccines because we don't want that double whammy. Is it the flu? Is it the coronavirus? By getting your flu vaccine, it's going to decrease your risk for the flu and maybe hospitalizations, so then we're not filling up hospitals with influenza when we have the coronavirus on top of it. So,
How long have you been an RN in the healthcare biz?
38 years.
Ever seen anything like the last 6 months?
No.
In 38 years? No?
No, not
Right.
as far as the shutdowns and
Sure.
the masking and just the I think the part that really tugs at your heartstrings as a health provider is the people that are going through this alone.
Right. And that's what's tough. You know, I'm not going to get into a debate, certainly, with people, but until you know somebody that's been impacted by the coronavirus, you might not think it's a big deal. My brother-in-law, who turns 29 tomorrow, had a fever for 11 days, does not have pre-existing health conditions other than he's a big guy like me, went to the ER, almost had an onset of pneumonia, and then just as quick as it was there, it was gone. Okay, so he's 29. So for me, when people are like, well, is it really a big deal? He's 29. And there have been younger people that have dealt with it. And that's why we're all trying to be preventative and proactive and smart. And that's why folks like Susan have been busy and Christy have been busy. Christy on Facebook. Yeah, okay, I'll promote that in a second, Christy. That's a good point. She was reminding us about the lunch for a cause. We'll come back to that. But yeah, I mean, it's a thing. Nobody is excited to have to navigate a pandemic and adapt and mask it up, but we're here, and we're going to keep encouraging those smart people to get that vaccine. Wouldn't it be great to have Susan on in 6 months and she's like, here it is, here's the vaccine for the coronavirus, we're giving it to everybody, and that's what I want to see happen. The conversations need to happen with respects to if you're an adult and if you're curious about whether it's Tdap or getting ready for that shingle shot, probably with the primary care provider. So with with your doctor, if you're watching, they have a record, right? So there's a medical record. So even if you don't know, and I don't know when I had my last Tdap booster, I don't have it memorized, but you guys do. But that's where you just have to have that good rapport. And as we get older, we get a little stubborn, and sometimes we don't do as good of a job staying on top of things. But if you have that annual physical, I imagine that's where a lot of that conversation could happen, right?
Right, yeah. So important to have that preventive care, even as we get, I remember when my kids were young, and I have 4 fully vaccinated young adults now. But you get busy and you don't think about getting those well visits done as the kids get older, and even as adults. So, but that is a great time to see your provider, discuss any concerns, and find out if you are up to date with all the immunizations that you need to have.
Christy Roby Williams on Facebook says, Susan is an amazing RN. We're blessed to have her on our public health team. Yes, I mean, you've been doing it for a while. Obviously, you care, and you look forward to helping people and getting on shows like this to talk about it. And I think it's important. Listen, we're fortunate in Muscatine, Iowa, to have folks like Susan and Christy in public health and Trinity Muscatine that have really invested so that you don't have... The thing for me, Susan, is I'm not driving 30 or 40 minutes to see a doctor. I'm not doing it. People have the right to do whatever, but for my money, if I can go around the block and see people like Cindy Burr or yourself or whomever, and know that we have good people, it's a big deal, because there's not Muscatine's unique. Like, there's not a lot of communities our size that have a fortified health system, right? And you have to feel good about there's been a lot of change. I've only been here 8 years, and I think about the evolution of healthcare, right? It's pretty wild, isn't it?
It is.
And like with public health, you guys have just added more services. I think. Do you remember back in the day? Like, was it the amount of services in public health? Was it like 50%
I've been there
less?
almost 25 years.
Yeah.
So when I first started, I'd say probably at least 50% less when I first started 25 years ago.
Isn't that
and
wild?
we just keep growing and more services to help our county residents and the surrounding counties, and it's really been a pleasure to see all the things that we do at public health and all the services that we provide in 30-plus programs that we have there, I think.
It's really cool, and the ultimate goal is that awareness, so that for people that are watching, whether it's live or they come upon this, they're like, oh, I didn't know that public health could help me with, like getting dental care for my kids, or all of the different services. It's really fascinating. What about those vaccines, though, the immunizations? If somebody's watching and they're like, yeah, that's great, you're talking about kids getting immunizations, I'm uninsured, I'm underinsured, are there options for them out there?
There's a federal program called the Vaccines for Children program that provide immunizations for either low or no cost, depending on income and what their insurance status is. People that qualify for that program either need to have Medicaid, no insurance. If their insurance does not provide any vaccine coverage, then they can qualify for that Vaccine for Children program, and that's something that we participate in at Public Health. And so if they have questions, they can call their provider, they can call us at Public Health.
Yeah.
Most of the providers, the Unity Point providers, are Vaccine for Children in that program
Sure.
as well. So.
And what's exciting also to note, and I should have mentioned this, I'm backtracking a little, you know, Public Health can help you navigate things like Hawkeye and getting insurance for your kids, which, correct me if I'm wrong, if you got them signed up through Hawkeye, let Public Health help, then they would be covered with those vaccines,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So, and that's an option that, you know, you talk about low to no cost. That's a great, you know, Hawkeye's great. It's really good. I mean, and you'd be surprised with respects to the income thresholds. You know, I was once underinsured. You know, I worked in radio, had bad insurance.
Yep.
And I'm not ashamed to admit that I was under the threshold. And when my oldest son was young, had him on Hawkeye. Paid like $40 a month. No shame in the game.
No.
Didn't take anything for advantage of anything.
Right.
You know, when I was pleasantly surprised to see, and my insurance was terrible. Right. So we utilized it. And it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. So that's where I think people just need to understand, like, it's okay, and you should not feel like there's any barriers,
Correct.
especially when it comes to your kids. I mean,
Correct.
if you're going to fight for anybody, fight for your kids, and then take care of yourself, of course.
Yeah.
But they just need to know that if it's not Hawkeye Insurance, if it's iSmile or the 28 other programs in public health, you're there with best intentions. Now Christy's saying, give Tony a vaccine live. And somebody loved that comment that she made. Somebody watching was like, oh, Christy said give Tony a shot, and they hit the love button. Who hit the love button? Ricky Hetzler hit the love button. That's great, Ricky. I'm sitting here, I'm talking about the iSmile program. I'm singing their praises, and then they're saying, give me a shot. Christy also says, please get your flu shots. We are not sure what influenza plus COVID could produce.
Yes.
Ay, Chihuahua.
Yes. Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it could be a very bad combination, and so I really want to encourage people. Usually, soon, flu vaccine will be coming into the pharmacies and the clinics and places to get that. So very important to get the flu vaccine. For anyone 6 months and older should have a flu vaccine every year.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but wow, what is the combination of the seasonal flu plus potential of the coronavirus?
So let's
Wow.
try and decrease that risk a little bit by getting that flu vaccine.
Yeah.
Even if you still get influenza, having that vaccine is going to definitely make it be less severe,
Sure.
reduce your risk of being hospitalized and having other serious complications. So.
Okay, I want to talk about the Lunch for a Cause, because that is happening today, and I'm thankful that Christy reminded me. I would have maybe forgot. I don't even know if I had it on my list, so thank you, Christy. So we talked to Jordan Lloyd from Sunnybrook on Monday. So today, folks can drive through Sunnybrook, starting at 11:30, I believe, and there it is, Lunch for a Cause, proceeds supporting public health. Isn't that nice?
It's
I
wonderful.
imagine there'll be a convoy from public health
Yep.
heading over,
Yep.
right?
Taking orders, so
That's
somebody
great.
will go organize all our lunches for today. So
Yeah. Do you feel, I mean, working at HyVee throughout this pandemic, sometimes people will say essential worker, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, sure. You know, we've been open the whole time, but you've been an essential worker for several years. Have you seen a change in people stopping and saying, hey, thanks for what you're doing? I mean, certainly you've been through tough situations, Susan, and you chose to do it, right? But hopefully now more than ever, people are recognizing lunches like this, causes like this.
Yeah,
You know.
people have been very generous. We've had several times where people have brought in lunch or things for us, and you know, we do our small part of doing the follow-up and the case investigations on the cases we've had through the county. And then there's all those other healthcare workers too that are actually in the hospitals caring for the patients, trying to be that comfort when, you know, the families and stuff can't be there with them. So
Yeah, I mean, it's even with respects to places like Sunnybrook and Lutheran Living, utilizing technology and FaceTime for people to have interactions. And I know for public health, things had to look different for a while with respects to who's at work and maybe who's working remotely. I mean, we had, half the time we talked to Christy, it was through FaceTime on a computer. But it was important to me to get that word out. And we're not out of the weeds, but we're optimistic, and we're encouraging people, if you're watching, maybe you didn't know that August is National Immunization Awareness Month. And if it's for your kids or your grandkids, school starts in 12 days. We want to make sure school-aged kids are ready. And if you're 50, get that shingles shot.
And pregnant women need vaccines too.
Oh.
Pregnant women should have a flu shot every year.
Okay.
They usually get a Tdap booster too, because getting that Tdap when you're pregnant builds some immunity that carries through to the baby. Babies have to be 6 weeks to 2 months old for those first shots. So getting that Tdap vaccine during your pregnancy will help protect that baby until they can start their immunization.
As if it wasn't one thing to have a human being growing inside you. Now you got to get a couple of shots as well.
Right.
I don't want to have that conversation with a pregnant woman. No, I mean, listen, they're going through enough already, and I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah.
There's a lot from the pregnancies that I don't remember. You literally can do nothing, right? As a guy, you're just there. And you just try and stay out of the way. I was talking to a friend of mine who's expecting, and I was just like, just don't get in the way. You're along for the ride, and don't say anything silly, or you can never buy enough flowers. Somebody was walking around with a person inside them for 9.5 months. It's wild. But I didn't know about the vaccinations for pregnant women.
But we want to protect those babies, so it's worth it.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
All right. As far as those conversations, the public health phone number, if I don't have it memorized, 263-0122.
Correct.
Man, it's like I used to have it on a pop socket on my phone for 4 years. 263-0122. The entire county, Susan. That's the one thing I feel like I always need to mention when public health folks are here. We're not just talking about Muscatine. If you're in the county, public health can serve you.
Right. And any immunization questions, they can call. Sure. They'll route them to me or one of the other nurses. So.
And do you feel like you're good at giving the shots?
Oh yeah.
Do you distract? Because I feel like sometimes I get distracted and I'm like, I got it? What do you mean? Is that the secret?
I have some tricks I kind of help, especially like the adolescents and things, It's nobody likes getting a shot, but trying to keep that muscle loose and distraction, and even having the parents just put the kids in a bear hug and holding them close while I'm doing that vaccine. It helps you just got to kind of get her done. And I've been the mean old shot lady for 25 years, so.
Shot lady? Oh my gosh. I just feel like it's, I guess you just have done it. It's an interesting job, that's for sure, to have to, are there other places you can put a flu shot? Could it go like where? Well, I got a little room right here. Is this an option?
Well, it needs to go in the muscle.
Okay.
So
what do you mean? This isn't muscle right here, Susan? What are you saying? What if I had a 6-pack right here? It's more of a keg, but could we go right here? Isn't there muscle? I don't have it. Where's my muscle? Right
Typically, the deltoid is the best place. But kids, little kids, we do in their thighs because they have bigger muscles in their thighs.
Oh, they love the thigh shots.
So,
oh my gosh.
So under 3 or 4 usually is in the thighs. So.
All right. So Susan's saying that if I start to do a lot more sit-ups and crunches, I could get it right in the stomach. Flu shot. But no, I will say, just as someone that, I'm 36. I have tattoos, but still, sometimes I get the old shot. I do this move where I'm like, hey, what's going on over there? Oh, it's over? Cool.
Yeah.
I need a sucker and a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But no, you have to get creative, right? Whether it's probably a lot of adults are still afraid of needles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not just kids.
Yeah. Sometimes the adults are even more challenging than the kids sometimes.
Oh.
So, but
nice.
You just try and talk them through it, and sometimes you just say, you just got to get it done. Right. So, because it's like, no, well, I'm not going to go to school. I don't need it. It's like, well, that's not an option. So, we just gotta make it work and try and make it be and usually the kids and even the adolescents say, really, that's it, I'm done. So.
Yeah, you just get it over with. And
the anticipation is the hard part.
Well, and listen, temporary pain is worth.
Yes.
preventing.
Seeing these horrible diseases,
Yeah.
and it definitely is.
And it's not something that people want to have to think about. I mean, again, with my kids, flu shot, I don't know if it was a year ago or 2 years ago, it was rough for 60 seconds. I remember my oldest was like, "You lied."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm sorry."
My 4-year-old woke up crying on his birthday. I said, "Happy birthday," and he burst into tears. And I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I don't want my shots," because he had heard me say, when you're 4, you got to have more shots. It's like, well, I'm not going to make you have them today. So it's tough being having the shot lady for your mom, too, because they think you're going
It's here. That's what Susan and the team are there for, right? There's no criteria. You have a
Right.
question, call 263-0122. There is no dumb question,
Correct.
especially when it pertains to your health or the health of your loved ones or kids or grandkids or whatever the case may be. It's okay to have questions. Nobody's going to judge you, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a judgment-free zone, basically.
Yep. Tell people that all the time. No question's a dumb question. That's what we're here for. Call
Yeah,
us.
that's great. Is there anything else we need to mention?
I don't think so. Just make sure your kids are up to date.
Yeah.
And we get in those schools, and everybody waits till the last minute, and then there's not spaces. So
Sure.
just keep checking. Bring them in. Make an appointment if you need to.
You've got 12 days. Let me drive it home. 24th, Monday, school starts. Get the shots done and over with so you don't have to worry about it.
That's right.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And don't be a stranger, okay?
Okay.
All right, we're going to go CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, and we will encourage you to get those kids vaccinated. Reach out to Public Health, as I said, 563-263-0122. And we're showing you some breakfast, everybody. Breakfast for $5. We've got a great variety of specials and a lot of good things happening in the Market Grill Express, which is open for business for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Should you need anything, you can come in and watch the show as it happens live. We'd love to get you taken care of. All right. So we have, let's see, I think I'm going to talk about some floral stuff because we got some good-looking things here on the set. I've got some sunflowers. I've got this little, oh, it's an apple. That's cool. Little, maybe something to gift for a teacher. Blooming plants. They always have, like, basic names. I'm always looking for, like, the official name, and it's a blooming plant, right? You got a little action right there. Put it on the desk. Hello to our friend Adam Riniger, who is watching. How you doing, buddy? You doing good? I hope you're doing good. Thanks for tuning in. And Adam and Brenda and Bree and Meg and Mary and Christy and everybody that I can see that's watching, thanks for watching the show. I appreciate it very much. All right, so listen, easy ways to spruce up the house. Sunflowers, that purple plant probably has a name. I don't know. Little guy right here. Floral shop will take good care of you. Look at that. You know what I like about this stuff is it's so easy to care for. Like this, you probably just give like a thimble of water. You give it a little thimble of Starbucks coffee, and then don't do that. And then look at the sunflower. Isn't this nice? Right? You just have to water it. Look at that. That's super cool. Makes me want to listen to the Sunflower song by Post Malone. If you get that reference, you're welcome. I will happily try my hand at the Toyota Muscatine What's in the Box. Ooh, is it a key? It feels like a key. I was on ToyotaMuscatine.com last night looking at newer versions of the Toyota Sienna minivan, and boy, they had one that looked real nice. So Toyota Muscatine on Highway 38 here in town, ready to take care of you should you need anything. That's where I got my Toyota Sienna, which is a van. It's fantastic. It doesn't drive like a van. It's very comfortable. And they'd love to take care of you. This is the Toyota Muscatine What's in the Box. You can buy this here at the store. I think we have 1 or 2 left. It is literally a game that's called What's in the Box. And what you do is you stick your hands inside. You close your eyes. You pop the doors open. And you guess, oh, what is that? Okay, at first I thought it was a cup full of something. And I was like, these guys, ooh, this feels like biscuit. No, nope. Oh, okay. Okay, my initial thought was biscuits because it felt like one of those containers you could twist. But then if it was biscuits and you twisted it, it would go like boom, and you'd have biscuits everywhere. This feels like, I'm inclined to say it's like a thing of dry onions, but I don't think that's right. But it does kind of feel like that. Or some type of sprinkles or seasoning. That's my guess. How am I doing? What do we got? Let me turn it around. Survey says it's, shoestring potatoes. Man, this is like something from the 80s, right? I didn't even know they still made those. That's, wow. So today is, and that's why Chris did it, because today is National Julienne Fries Day. Is this on the shelf? This looks like it came out of a time capsule. Look at that. I remember back in the day, you get like the containers of the shoestring potato. Oh, there's a bigger one. Marvelous. Picnic shoestring potatoes. Isn't that cool? But this is hilarious. Is this like the on-the-go size? You know what I would do if I got this one? I would open it and just like drink it. That's fun. Shoestring potatoes. If you have no context for what these is, so are Jay's a company anymore? Remember Jay's potato chips? I don't even know if they're around. Long story short, a friend of mine, one of my first friends, his dad worked for Jay's potato chips, and they carried a line of shoestring, and we used to get them. He used to bring them over. So that's really cool. Wow. Is it in the chip aisle? Even the small one? It's so weird. It's just something that you don't see packaged with that kind of lid, so you have to open it, and then you pop it. Wow, and that's how the big one is too, huh? It just seems like the evolution of this, could they have gone to a bag? Or do they, I don't know. There's something nice about that. That's like a nostalgic thing for me, especially that lid. Awesome. I'm so tempted to crack that open, but I don't want to pay for it. Put it on Brad's tab. All right, there we go. We have his credit card. Don't tell him. Today, August 12th, is also National Vinyl Record Day. How about vinyl records and the resurgence that they've had over the years? Maybe, you know, back in the day, you had a stack of wax, you had a stack of records, and then you went to 8-tracks, and then you went to CDs, or no, cassettes, if I go in order. Cassettes, and then you got your music on CDs, and then all of a sudden it's cool to have records, right? And you're rebuying vinyl. Okay, who would have thought that would have happened? I'm going to send you guys a picture really quick. Keep that there. Good old Facebook memories reminded me that I had posted something pretty cool on this day, I think like 5 years ago. So yeah, I have some vinyl records, and I'm happy to have a record player. Look at this. So let me save this, and I'll send this to you. Speaking of people that have vinyl records, we'll get this airdropped over. Familiar face. All right, hopefully that'll show up in a second. Yeah, so get out the record player and start jamming your favorite records. I don't understand. Sometimes airdrop works easier than others. It's annoying, right? What's the deal with airdrop? There we go. Okay, I think it's going. So speaking of people that have vinyl records, Facebook said that I posted this picture. It says it's waiting. Is it trying to connect? There it is. So this guy right here, boom, check this out, Alice Cooper. That's a guy that has vinyl records, right? And I have some Alice Cooper vinyl. Actually, this is nerdy. So one of Alice's records from the 70s is called $1 Billion Babies, and inside the vinyl was a fake $1 billion bill, and it's rare to find that album with the $1 billion bill inside it. Long story short, I found it at a record store in Davenport, and when I went to see Alice, I think it was at a show in Peoria. Anyways, I have the record signed, and he signed the $1 billion bill. So there's Alice Cooper. So, hey, listen to your favorite vinyl records today, right? And rest in peace, Vintage Sound 93.1, the radio station that is no longer with us. Alice Cooper still waiting to get back on the road, right? You talk about the pandemic impacting business. How about the concert business and folks like Alice Cooper that have never had this much time off? You think about that. That guy's like 72, and he's never had this long of a break. Never, right? Constantly touring for what, 40 years, 50 years? What's he doing with himself? Probably playing golf. I don't know. Let's call Alice Cooper right now and see what he's up to. Today is also Middle Child Day. So if you have kids, maybe you are the middle child. I am the oldest with my siblings, but I have a middle child in my house, and his name is Ted. And Ted went from being the baby to the middle child when my daughter was born, and he is the middle child. So I got home from work yesterday. He's rocking pajamas. He wants to go to the park. I'm like, dude, you got to put normal clothes on Nope. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to fight you, brother. So happy National Middle Child Day. Are you watching? Are you the middle child in your house? Do you have middle child syndrome? Is it a real thing? I don't know. I'm inclined to say it is because I have a middle child in my house. But I don't know. That kid falls asleep. He is like out. My 5-year-old is out when he falls asleep. It's hilarious. All right, a couple things we're going to mention. Do we have that Kirk Ferentz letter? Did I email that? Kirk had posted a letter about the season. It was in really small font, which was weird. Like they don't have better font at the university. I don't know. Let me see here. Where is it at? Didn't I take a screenshot of it? I thought I sent that. Maybe not. So Kirk, I know I looked for it. So there's no Hawkeye football this year, which is terrible, but not too surprising at the same time. So the Big Ten announced that the season is canceled. Let me find this here. I just saw it this morning. There is no season, but it seems like some other colleges, maybe other college football leagues might be happening. Is that the case as of now? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But this is the statement from Iowa Hawkeye football coach Kirk Ferentz right there on the screen. I haven't even read this, to be honest. It says this is an extraordinarily disappointing day for everyone involved with Hawkeye football. While we respect the decision of the Big Ten, I want to thank the University of Iowa President Bruce Harold and Athletic Director Gary Barta for their spirited leadership as they work to find a path for us to play this fall. Sadly, that was not the final decision. Our hope is now that our players will have an opportunity to compete in the spring. So there's a potential for football in the spring. Let's go back to the statement. I didn't know that was maybe the case. I want to publicly thank all the medical and support staff who have worked tirelessly to keep our players and coaching staff healthy and safe during our return to campus. I also want to applaud the focus and dedication of student athletes as they work out throughout the uncertainty of the past few months. So, yeah, I guess maybe Hawkeye football in the spring. I don't know, but for now, not happening. That's interesting. I should have read that statement before, but I kind of like reading it right there for you. So we'll keep you posted, I guess. But what are you going to do? I'm trying to work out a way to inflatable screen parking lot. Can I replay classic Hawkeye football games? I don't know. I mean, you're not all going to convert to Cyclone fans, right? That's not going to happen. So could we show some old school games? Would you come out and watch them? I'll keep you posted on that. All right, we'll mention a couple of things and we'll get out of here. Hey, you know what? I was talking about the cardinal in my tree, and we have some fun stuff, some sentimental stuff at the floral shop, because it does seem like maybe cardinals are loved ones that have passed away. You get a sign from a cardinal. We have several cardinals in the neighborhood, and this is something you can pick up at the floral shop, right? So that's pretty cool. So just check that out, and it's got a nice little stand. I don't want to drop that. Oh, that's making me nervous. There we go. We're safe. And then we've got another little cardinal right here to put in your flowers. Little cardinal floral stake action. Check that out. Mm-hmm. So I told you we cut that tree down, and the cardinal was mad. And is that cardinal a loved one that's angry? Is it my grandpa that's like, you cut my tree down, bro? What's happening? All right, Wellness Wednesday today and every Wednesday at the store. Save 10% off. Awesome opportunity to not have to pay full price in the health market on things like vitamins, organic produce, health and beauty care items. It's all 10% off today. So whether it's, refilling a vitamin or trying something new in the health market, or just maybe you want to pick up some organic produce, do it on Wednesday when it's 10% off. A lot of people come in and check that out. Chris tells me there's stuff behind me. Oh, there is. Look at that. So in the newspaper this week, on the back page, our ad talks about a couple things: rotisserie chicken, Powerade, some bone-in pork chops, some Iowa craft beers. And we've got some Iowa craft beers, including, it looks like, Exile, which is one of my favorites, on the bar back there, right? So Exile is awesome. Exile is made in Des Moines. You've got, what else back there? You've got Bent River, made in Moline, and a little bit of Millstream. So the deal with a craft beer is if you buy 4 craft beer 6-packs, you will earn a 20-cent fuel saver. So that's cool, right? Go ahead and pick up some craft Iowa beer, and you'll save at the pump. So that's a great opportunity to not have to pay full price on gas. So if you thought about it and you did 4 6-packs, 20 cents, and then you flip down, and guess what? 20 more cents right here. You got to cut this coupon out, okay? So you could save 40 cents on gas just from 2 items on the ad. Isn't that great? So that gas coupon is good now through Monday, only at Hy-Vee Gas, and it's absolutely fantastic. I can't say enough about the fact that we're giving you 20 cents off a gallon, even if you don't have the fuel saver, which you should have, by the way. And then below that, we're talking about some produce, and we've got some produce behind me, which looks great. All of the produce that's locally grown or homegrown for our store comes from Kruger's in Letts. So they do an excellent job. And you can see the deals that start today. So we've got some sweet corn, we've got some melons, we've got some watermelons, and some big old tomatoes, all locally grown from Kruger Farms. And now our very own Chris Anderson is going to juggle watermelons. Chris, take it away. You can't see him, but he's doing it. You'll have to believe me. But no, listen, the salad bar looks super cool. It is all homegrown at the salad bar, and I want you to check it out, and we're really happy to work with the Kruger family. They do an excellent job, and we're happy to support them and thankful to have their produce in the store. That Powerade deal, by the way, that's a good one too, y'all. $2.99 on that Powerade. That's an 8-pack. That is exciting. So if you're like me and you got the kids, grandkids, whatever the case may be, they can never have enough Powerades of the world, right? So that's $2.99. That's a heck of a deal. The rotisserie chicken deal is really good too, but that Powerade is awesome. $2.99. Get a couple of them. And then the rotisserie chicken deal is good. The rib deal is good. Bone-in pork chops. It's all there. It's a good-looking ad. It's right here. I'm a tangible person. I want you to see that it's here. It's right here. Cut this coupon out. Use a scissor. Don't use a knife. I don't know why I used a knife the last time we had this, but cut this out, cut it out, and then take it to the gas station, and they'll take care of you, okay? If you don't have a coupon, come and get one from the store. And our friend Bob Howard just tuned in on Facebook, B.O.B. Bob at CBI Bank and Trust. Hello, Bob. How you doing? All right, let's see what else is on the list of things we need to mention. We've got the brand new hot deals on the front page of the Hy-Vee ad. So inside the paper, you got the Hy-Vee ad, and it just brand new ad at Hy-Vee starts each and every Wednesday. And the hot deals on the front are going to save you money. Look at that, bacon wrapped. Let's just put bacon on everything, right? It's like, all right, what do we got? Steak? Okay, what should we do? Wrap it in bacon, duh. So those are $1.88. That's a heck of a deal. Do you hear my shoulder crack? Holy moly. Other hot deals on the front page look like some Columbine red seedless grapes, Sara Lee bread, Frito-Lay, Fritos, Cheetos, or can dip. That's kind of fun to say. Peanut butter at $1.68. That's a big old thing of peanut butter. Hy-Vee split chicken breast, and then some Pepsi. So those are the hot deals on the front page. More deals throughout the store. That is for sure. All right. If you have a smartphone or a tablet, the Hy-Vee app this week is going to save you money on butter, which is, again, one of those things. We're talking about things you don't want to run out of at your house. Toilet paper, body wash. I told you got to buy that today. How about butter? You go to bake something. Maybe you're the kind of person you put a little butter on your steak. I was listening to a podcast this weekend, an interview with Rob Lowe, the actor. If you've seen the movie Tommy Boy with Chris Farley, Rob shared a funny story about Chris Farley when they were going out to dinner. They said each bite of steak he had, he put a piece of butter on top of it. And he was like, Chris, what are you doing? And Chris like, it has a hat. And it was like the most Chris Farley story ever. So whatever you're putting butter on, whether it be steak or if you're baking, that app deal is awesome. It has a little hat. Like Chris Farley, man, that dude was like a bolt of lightning, and then he was gone. So pick up that deal, $1.88. Download the app and take advantage of it, all right? We can skip the Fuel Saver Flyer because I don't have that updated yet, and we can go on to Goat Yoga. Every time I see Goat Yoga on my paper, I laugh, but I am committed to promoting this for Flickinger because they do such a good job with helping out our kids, right? So this is this Saturday, and all we need is the weather to cooperate. I'm assuming they've got the kid goats ready to go. Bring your own, don't bring your own goat, all right? Bring your own yoga mat and a towel and a drink. Maybe don't bring goat's milk. That'd be kind of offensive. And here you go. This is Goat Yoga. It's 9 a.m. on Saturday. $15 for kids, or for adults, excuse me. Kids 12 and under are $10. And you're helping out the Flickinger Learning Center. I told you there was a yoga event this past Saturday at the Merrill. It was packed. So there are people in this town that love doing yoga. So that's going on this Saturday with Flickinger. Don't miss it. Let's see. I don't know if I sent the picture of the face masks. If I didn't, that's okay. I will mention, because we talked about the fact that August is National Immunization Month, if you've got time and you're 50 years and older, the shingles shot is something you should consider. At the pharmacy, we have the Shingrix vaccine, and it will literally keep you safe from shingles. So not something you want to have to worry about. Susan Kruger. So if you don't want to take my word for it, we just had a nurse here, okay? Susan told you, if you're over 50, get the shingles shot. You can get it at places like your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. They'll get you taken care of. It's a series of 2 shots. You get one today, come back in a couple weeks. They'll give you the other one, and you're good to go. I'm peeking over my shoulder because there was a chance that Chef Scott might walk on. So I'll talk for a little bit. He was making some kind of keto pizza. So selfishly, he's over there?
No, the pizza is.
The pizza's over there? It's like here?
It's on the other side of the glass.
Oh. Okay. Well, is Chef Scott laying down or something? You want to grab that pizza, Chris? Is he just like snoozing? Chef, wake up. They need you. Huh? Oh. Yeah, that's okay. Somebody walking by with a little dog, too. You never know what you're going to see when you're doing the show. Did you see that? Somebody had like a small dog, and then the person, as they were walking past the window, did like a kissy face. Anyways. All right, let's talk about Aisles Online, same-day groceries. I get distracted so easily. Aisles Online on your phone with the free app or at HyVee.com/grocery. Don't worry about doing your grocery shopping. We can do it for you. Our team is ready. They'll take good care of you. You can use your fuel saver with Aisles Online. It's great. We use it at my house. I told you I had groceries delivered the other day for the first time, and I would do it again. Would recommend. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. So check that out and utilize it, will you? Okay, so the store hours, 6A to 11P. I didn't know if I'd keep talking about this, but I feel like it's important because folks need things early, or they want to know, what's the deal? What are you open? I'm thankful that we were not impacted here at this store by the severe weather the other day. Certainly, we had some landscaping. Look at this guy. Did you make a heart-shaped pizza? Okay. Do you want to clip on? I think there's a mic right there. All right, Chef Scott's sitting down. So the store is open 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Sunday. All right, Chef Scott says he was playing Test Kitchen. That's a heart-shaped pizza, right?
It's a heart-shaped pizza.
Okay, so you have what can be described as keto pizza, right?
It is keto, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So I've tried a lot of the keto crusts and things like that, and I was like, the cauliflower crust is great. I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I wanted to kind of try to find a crust that didn't have the cauliflower aftertaste, I guess.
Okay.
And so I did some test kitchen stuff this morning, and we're gonna let Tony be a guinea pig.
I love being a guinea pig.
There is almond flour.
Okay.
And kind of a ton of cheese and a little bit of cream cheese to kind of act as a nice little binder in there, and some Italian seasoning.
So let me do this. Let me hold that board, and then Chris, I want you to zoom in on this, because this is what I love about what Scott's able to do, Chef Scott, everybody. And you can do this at home as well. So we're talking about low-carb pizza. Now listen, typical pizza, ain't nothing low-carb about it.
Nope.
But what Chef Scott's saying is that with a couple simple ingredients, you can have low-carb crust. There are people that will use the chicken crust. Have you seen that?
I've seen the chicken crust, the high protein.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm willing to try. So are these crusts all the same?
Yes.
Okay.
The heart-shaped one was thicker. So
thicker. Okay.
Thicker.
I think I'm going to go in on. I'll just try this guy right here.
Go on the thin crust.
And again, ooh. So right away. Sometimes when you have the cauliflower crust, there's a little bit of a flop. I feel like Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. One bite, everybody knows the rules. But look at that. That looks and has the feel of regular pizza. Oh, man. Oh, boy. That is so good. Hi, Sherry. What are we working with? Is it a certain kind of sauce? What's on there?
So what I used is for the crust, really.
Wow.
I wanted to make it super easy, so I have a recipe out there.
Yeah.
So you can make it at home. What I took an 8-ounce package of Hy-Vee Italian cheese blend.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the Parmesan, the Romano. It has a lot of the hard cheeses that when they melt and they cool back down, they get a little crispy.
Yeah.
Like a Parmesan crisp. So I was like, well, why can't I put that in a pizza crust? And almond flour and just a little bit of a cream cheese and Italian seasoning in there, just kind of a little.
That is killer.
Little razzle dazzle.
It tastes like, and I know this sounds weird, it tastes like normal pizza. There's something about when you're having a crust that's not a typical flour dough-based crust that your brain's like, oh, this isn't. You feel like this isn't real pizza, but this
has good texture. It has a good texture.
It is. It has a good texture. Wow.
Took about 20 minutes max to make, so I par baked it for 5 minutes to get a nice little golden brown, and then I topped it and then baked it again. So it's something that if you have kids or something like that, you want to make a bunch of these crusts and stick them in the freezer. By all means, you can do that.
So what's the deal? So are you going to have the crust? We talked about this the other day. Are you going to have the crust ready that people could take home, create their own toppings, or what?
I was thinking about doing that, make it like a little build your own pizza kit, or just put the crust out there so you can buy the crust yourself, and top it with whatever you want to top it at home. And
this is outstanding. I wasn't expecting it.
I needed to try it out today to see if it worked, and I think it works. So
what's the deal with? You said you baked it first.
Yep.
To get it a little crispy, then you put everything on top of it and baked it again.
I baked it just to kind of get a little crisp on there. That way, when I put the toppings on there, it's not going to soak in there, and it's not going to make the dough soggy. And so it's cooked twice. So cook it once just till it starts. You'll see a little golden brown.
Wow.
And then just cook it again with all the toppings on it. And I think it turned out really well.
It is fantastic. I have to say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Not, I mean, professional chef, duh, but it's great. I mean, it tastes like, I hate saying regular pizza, but guilt-free pizza.
Yeah, it's completely keto friendly. If you have your own sauce recipe that you like, that you prefer, your own toppings that you prefer, I got the crust knocked out right now. So. And
that's half the battle is like making a crust and doing that. It's easy to buy. There's low-carb, low-sugar sauce like Rao's, R-A-O''S is really good. Very low sugar, great taste. And then you just can go crazy with, there's pepperoni, there's sausage on there. You could do like a pesto sauce. You could do an Alfredo sauce. I don't know why I'm doing this motion. You could do a garlic sauce.
If you're staying keto, you go avocado oil and garlic.
Right. You could do it too. You could do a whole bunch of things. So that's really crazy good, man. There's even like sugar-free barbecue sauces. You could do like a barbecue chicken pizza. I'm gonna stop. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. I love that, and I like how. I don't want to touch it because I want these guys to try it because they'll probably love it. But the crust that's it. That's really it. Because I've had a lot of, keto pizza, and I'm here to tell you, 9 times out of 10, it's got a lot of flop. It's droopy, and I don't want that with my pizza. I want to be able to hold it up like this. You can tell. You can just look at that. I mean, that's just Chris. I don't know if you can zoom in, but just look at that. Like Chef totally is right. I mean, it's crispy. Wow. All right. So in a perfect world, later today, people could come in and buy.
I'm going to try. So I've been gone on vacation for a few weeks, and I have my little section across from Italian and Chinese that I'm going to be filling back up today. So I'm going to pump out some of these crusts. I'm going to try working on a buffalo chicken macaroni and cheese I might have out there later for purchase too. So
buffalo chicken macaroni and cheese.
Yep, I'm going to try to get that out there today.
Not keto friendly.
Not keto friendly.
But buffalo chicken macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So we're going to try to knock out some stuff so you can get some of my my own special side dishes and stuff in your kitchen right now. So
give me like 60 seconds on fun things people could try. There's a lot of sweet corn.
Oh yeah.
Are you a fan of like sometimes you see things on the internet, people are putting corn in the microwave with the husk on. I don't know if I want to do that. That seems a little different. But I'm also kind of afraid to grill corn.
Okay.
Am I doing something wrong? I don't feel like I know how to do it right.
So there's a couple different ways you can do it. I mean, you can just if it's fresh, nice sweet corn, you can slap it on there. Just make sure it's kind of low. I typically do indirect.
Okay.
Otherwise, it chars really fast.
Gotcha.
Or you can kind of parboil it first, just for a few minutes. It kind of helps get the tassels off. And direct heat, and I mean, I just watch it. Not very long. You get the char really fast.
Wow.
10, 15 seconds.
And the same thing, excuse me, with people grilling fruit. That's become a thing. Peaches, other things. Watermelon. People are growing watermelon, which is interesting. It's just fun. This is the time of year to try things on the grill and not be afraid. Pizza on the grill, right?
Pizza on the grill is great.
Yeah.
Pizza on the grill is great. Peaches. I've grilled peaches for years. Just peaches and vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, that's good stuff. If you have not tried it, try it. We have these peaches we have here.
Did you see the size
they're
of the
like
peaches?
the size
They
of
were like-
softballs.
yeah, they were like humongous.
Yeah.
And I've had grilled peaches. They're fantastic. Have you tried any recipes at home or recently that you were like, wow, I didn't know that would be something that I like. There's grilled peaches right there, by the way. Look at that.
As I say, I had a chef buddy that slow roasted a watermelon, and it was the strangest thing. It was really good, and I don't know how he did it. He won't tell me how he did it yet, but it was a black cylinder. I mean, it was he said he roasted it for about 13 hours, but he cut open a little section and he just pulled out, and it was like the texture of a steak. It was the weirdest thing.
Slow roasted watermelon?
Yeah. And
that's cool.
So he said he had it on the smoker and it's rotating rotisserie for 13 hours. And it had the texture of a steak. It was the strangest thing.
Weird.
And he won't tell me how I did it. So I'm gonna probably do some experimenting. I'm like, how'd you do this, dude?
Why wouldn't he tell you how to do it?
Because
What is he? Emerald Lagasse?
Yeah,
He's got to keep it close to the chest, or what? What do you got? Chris has got. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it cut like a steak.
I don't understand. It looks like a ham.
Yeah.
That's a watermelon. What am I missing?
Like all the sugars just reduce down and it compacts on itself, and so you normally a watermelon's really fibrous, but when it shrinks down, it's just all there. And you're like,
I feel like we have to do this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Watermelon steak. Did you see that picture? It said, "This is not a ham," by the way. This is not a ham. Okay. We trust news bites, everybody.
I have vacuum sealed it before and then, grilled it with a little bit of lime and salt with fish. It was phenomenal, but I
like a mad scientist, these chefs. I mean, who would have thought? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're watching, and my intent will be to try and take a picture before we mow this, Chef Scott, keto crust right here. What 3 ingredients? Almond flour, cheese blend,
a little bit of cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
If you want to add some seasonings in there, if you want it spicy, add some crushed red pepper. You want
oregano,
a spicier crust, oregano, thyme.
Wow.
So.
And that's a crust for pizza, and Chef Scott's going to have crusts ready to go. Top it however you want, low carb, low, keto friendly. And then on the opposite end, buffalo
chicken macaroni and cheese.
Buffalo chicken macaroni and cheese.
And I got a couple of requests for that DeBeats mashed potatoes too, so I might try to see if I have enough hours in the day to get some of that out there as well. So
was it a request from me? It was from a Tony T. Could you make DeBeats mashed potatoes? Yeah. That's exciting. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. This is super cool. a low-carb option for people. They're going to love this. We're going to put this. There's a Muscatine Hy-Vee Keto Facebook group, over 1,000 members if you want to join. Chef Scott has great ideas. Health Market has great ideas. And if you pick up his crust, we can show you some sauce options. And then you just go crazy with the meat. I mean, you can. I mean, nothing about this is. I mean, this is all guilt-free. You can put bacon on there. You can do whatever. I mean,
there's bacon on there, just so you know.
There's bacon on there?
I snuck it in there.
You devil. Well, I appreciate that. All right, so we'll get some pictures of this, and then we'll get some pictures later today with where they're at. So check out the Facebook page or Instagram. And that's great. All right, listen, we're going to wrap right now because I got to get pictures of this, and I want these guys to try it. It's so good. Thank you for watching. Thanks to Chef Scott for stopping by. Look at that little low-carb pizza action right there. Susan Kruger was here earlier, registered nurse with Trinity Muscatine Public Health. August is National Immunization Month. School starts in 12 days. If it's kids getting their back-to-school immunizations, get them taken care of. Flu shots, of course. And we thank Susan for her time. And then I should say, hey, don't forget today, 11:30 a.m., Sunnybrook doing Lunch for a Cause, proceeds supporting public health. All right, thanks to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and Lutheran Living Senior Campus. Back tomorrow with local designer and artist Jess Mitchell will be here talking about the work that she's done that benefits the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. And then on Friday, we've got like 500 guests. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're not going to have time. We're going to make it happen. It's going to be fun. So thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody.
For watching HyVee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to HyVee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, HyVeeToday@gmail.com.